What's going on, everybody? Wayne's Workshop here, and and in this week's video I'm going to show you how to revive some of that old gunked up contact glue that you have when you leave it too long in a bottle. This even happens when you have it in a big container. Over time it will get really thick and globby, but there is a trick to thin it and to save it, so I'll show you how. Now over here in the Netherlands, or in most EU countries, we get the contact glue like this one from Bison. And what I've noticed from other makers' videos is like the one in America, like Barge or Master, they seem to be already less thick, more runny than our counterpart. This already comes really thick, and we even have a thicker version called a gel, which I really don't recommend. That makes it already, it's okay to spread out in the beginning, but if you leave it too long in one of these dispenser bottles, like this old wood glue bottle or this kids glue bottle with the tip, it works fine, but it will glob up on you in a few days. It goes pretty fast. The trick is to find your brand's degreaser cleaner, which also acts like a thinner. It's a kind of a 3-in-1 fluid, and this one goes, of course, together, Bison and Bison. Usually all brands should carry them. I'll show you one of these jars that I have that are completely gunked up. You can see it's just a gel. It doesn't even run off anymore, and it's all gooey, and you have this old glue. It'll probably look familiar. Try to spread around, but it just keeps getting worse and worse. But not to worry, because you can still save it. How? Just by adding a splash of the degreaser cleaner thinner fluid. So this one is about, I don't know if you can see, is about half full. So we'll just put in a little bit. Close it up and shake it till you no longer hear the splashing of the thinner, and that means it's completely mixed. And there you can hear it, that it's no longer splashing. So once it's thin enough, you just leave it to rest for about 5 minutes so everything can just drop down to the bottom, because now my brush and the inside of the cap, it's all coated in contact glue. So just let it sit, let it rest, let it drop down. So now that we let it rest a bit, open it up, and it is nice and runny again. And I can show you on this little piece of foam. There we go, sharpen it out a bit. And then even when I grab one of these popsicle sticks, it just smears out all the way through. So this is also nice for covering large surfaces. Now this is, again, really smooth instead of this hot mess that was it before it got old and globby. And as you can see, it's still not coming apart when I press it or when I pull it. And it's as tight as can be. So thin it down, revive it, spreads easier, and doesn't lose any of its properties. Now, as much as I love these small bottles, because they're great for like refilling, it has the brush to go with it, I much rather have these small kids glue bottles. I took this for about $1.50, and it has that little tip that slides in with those twist caps, and you can dose it really nice with these. But the problem was, leave it in there for about a week and it globs all up, and Yeah, and it doesn't come out as nice anymore. But now with the thinner, you can just add a splash, thin it out again, and you're as good as new. And what I even do now is already thin it fresh out of the container. I find it spreads much better on foam, and I love these popsicle sticks just to spread it out. So I already thin it because the stuff we get over here in the EU seems to be pretty viscous straight out of the package. So I already thin it, and then it just spreads easier over foam, providing clean glue lines. Now, one more thing you can do with the thinning agent is clean up eventual messy glue lines. If you had some old glue, or you messed up your line and you see it too late, you get this. Some hardened out contact glue, and you can rub it and it makes it a lot worse. Just grab a piece of paper, put on some of the thinning agent, fold it, and just rub and rub and rub, and you can start to see it, get loose again. Just continue doing that. Some of the paper may get loose, like I have now. I'm gonna add some more thinning. Go over it gently. And there we go. We have a clean seam again. And all that in this tiny little bottle. So that's it for this week's video. Like I said, you can use the thinner to revive your old cans that may have globbed up. You can thin out your new cans and your new bottles just to thin it out and to spread it out better. And you can use it to clean up those messy glue lines that you might have messed up. Now, if you get the store-bought contact cement, they usually in that same store have the thinner degreaser agent. If you buy your contact cement from a cosplay store, they might not be selling the thinning agent. Now, I just tried thinning this one with this one, and it does work, as you can see, like this, but mixing brands is usually not a good idea, and you can get a bad reaction. You can try it, but use appropriate safety measures, because even though contact cements all do work similar, there might be some differences from brand to brand. So do so at your own risk and take necessary safety precautions. And if anything else, contact your cosplay store and see if they can get their thinning agent from the factory where they get their stuff. I hope you learned a thing or two again, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. If you learned something from the video, please share this within your cosplay groups to also help your fellow cosplayer. We also have a Ko-fi account. Please consider donating a coffee. This helps support and grow the channel. Link in the description. Thank you so much.